ask me to talk. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk. We love talking about anything and everything. Yes, we have a weekly topic that we talk about, but we are, my co-host Eric, by the way, I'm Stacy. He says we're conversational off-roaders. I kind of like the idea of being off-topic rovers. It's basically the same thing. What do you think, Eric?
Sure. Usually when we introduce ourselves, we say our name and then the other person says their name.
I know. But
this is the first time where you've launched right into the show without me. I feel a little left out there for the first few seconds.
I proved my point. Okay, let's have a restart. Hey, you're listening to Don't Ask Me to Talk. Welcome to the show. I'm Stacy Heller, and my co-host is...
I'm Eric Ryder. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on the big show. That's all the time we have, but I really appreciate everybody out there taking the time. Stacy, I hope you have a great week.
Wow. Okay. I'm just doing something a little different. I'm going off topic, Eric.
Fair enough. It's all good.
And here, when you were polite enough to look up what the topic of the week was, and I was so rude as to not introduce you.
It's all good.
Well, I mean...
Well, the topic of the week, by the way, is manners for folks out there that didn't catch the last episode. And if you didn't, rude. Where's your manners?
Exactly. Although I think chastising people is also rude, so we're kind of we're in a bit of a tricky wicket here.
But a sticky wicket, if you will.
Exactly that. The thick of it. How about that?
Good. I like it. We're in the thick of it.
Yeah. Well, now we are.
The thicket of the sticky wicket. This is going to go on and on.
This is just going to go on and on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. So anyway, hey, thanks for listening. As you can tell, we love a good conversation and we love going off topic of said conversation. And so it's something that we do every time. And we have lots of things that we talk about. I mean, we used to kind of have a set of segments that we did, and now we're kind of all over the place. We have a bunch of things we talk about, including, how was your week, Eric?
Oh, my week was good. We, my band played back-to-back shows on the weekend, and both of them went really well.
Of course it did. Did you have your merch?
Yes, we had merch for the first time. I mean, typically I've been so lazy with trying to sell our record that I usually don't even bring it to the shows. But this time, because we ordered T-shirts, I thought, well, let's put up the T-shirts, let's put the CDs. Well, and I used to say like, hey, we got these, find us online or come up and say hello and get them, and nobody would. But turns out putting them up in a proper display with a table and showing them to people in front of you helps sell them. So we sold like 4 or 5 albums on Sunday and like 4 or 5 T-shirts. That for us, I mean, that's huge. I mean, totally. Most bands, that's nothing. But we're a little group, a lesser known band, if you will.
And, for now.
Well, yeah, we have been for a while. But yeah, it was fantastic. So I was very happy about that. I accidentally sliced open my finger on my guitar strings on the show on Sunday night. So that was a little bit funny because that's never happened to me before. And I was like, do I ask for a bandage or do I just keep going and try not to get too much blood on everything? It was very punk rock. I went with blood all over everything. We had a limited time. We wanted to get in the rest of our songs. So I just bled on our set list and my guitar and stuff. And it turned out okay, thankfully.
Very, very rock and roll of you.
Yeah. It was, I was like Iggy Pop for like 10 seconds there.
Right. Well, and Taylor Swift, because I think she has a lyric that's about with every guitar string scar or something on my hand. I don't know. So the big question is, did you set aside a t-shirt for me per my request?
I did, but you know what? It turns out we didn't order the size that you requested, so I'm gonna have to do that.
Oh,
The next size smaller might fit you, so we'll see on that. But if it doesn't, then we'll custom order the one that you like.
thank you.
Because I
It's a
know you
really
like to wear it
cool.
like a nightgown kind of thing.
I do. I'm also you're also being kind because I'm a little bigger and so require a larger size, which I'm okay with. But the design is super cool. I have to say it's well done you and whomever you worked with on it because it's super cool.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, we worked with Peter from Relayer Design and Shirts, and he did a great job. And yeah, it was my concept, but he really tweaked it to make it fantastic for a shirt, which was,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
great.
Similar to your experience with selling merch at a show where, hey, what would happen if we actually displayed it and told people about it? I really need to get back to social media for this show because, hey, if I talked about it and displayed it, maybe more people would listen and share. So that is
Couldn't
actually on
Hoyt.
my, it might, it's on my goal list. Although I will tell you, I have been doing, social media for The Point, which is the restaurant at the resort where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like it's bougie, it's not. It's this little lakeside marina bar, and I've been posting on social media every day. I think it helps to be paid, just saying. Um, but I made a little mistake.
Ruh-roh.
Yep, 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 yep. Um, So the drink of the week is a cucumber margarita. So I had one, for the gram so I could talk about it.
Sure.
And then I did a post and we'll see if you end up bleeping this out. Instead of saying cucumber margarita, it said cumcumber.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
I was like, "Oh, no, that's not it." So luckily I caught it because uh that would have been embarrassing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like it's one thing to have, like, a little agave syrup or simple syrup,
Sure.
but, like, enough said. So, anyway, it is my goal to be better
That
about
sounds more
posting
like a
and letting
white
people know.
Russian than.
Right? It's just terrible the way my family had a field day with this because I sent actually the post to them and I was like, "Hey guys, this is the drink of the week. Check this out." And my family was like, "Ew." And I of course am like, "What are you talking about? Like, what's the problem?
Right.
Cucumber. You all like cucumber." And they're like, "That's not what it says."
Hmm.
So, anyway, yes. So like you, I am going to make an effort to, let people know about us more and post more often.
I mean, I think lesson learned for me. I, I I
Totally.
am absolutely going to do our thing, and try and put it in people's faces a little more. And t-shirts, I mean, not that
Not a
beverage, not the beverage you mentioned.
Yeah, 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 that's fair. That's totally fair.
uh,
And what else is going on for the week? I mean, that's like a big thing, but also, what else?
yeah, I mean that was a big thing for us. We played in Bremerton for the first time in like a decade. It seems
I've
like.
never been to Bremerton.
You know what? I've only been a couple times. Typically, I'm passing through when I go through, going to somewhere else. Not that Bremerton's bad or anything, but it's just
Right.
hasn't been a destination for me. And there was this whole part of town called Manette that I've never been to. That's really cute. It's very similar aesthetically to North Tacoma, where I live. So I was like, hey, I really like the vibe of this place. And it's like a cool little hip pocket of Bremerton. So yeah, I think Bremerton has changed quite a bit than from what it used to be in the 80s and stuff.
Mhm.
And so it was really cool to discover a new place, and that had a good vibe. And we played a fun show, and so that was fun. And yeah, I didn't cut my finger at that show, so that was nice. I can only bleed out at one show per weekend.
Oh my
and
gosh.
and keep going. If I did that twice in a row, I think I might have to retire.
Are guitar strings like I don't play guitar. I've never played guitar. Can they be super sharp?
Typically they're not. I mean, the ends of them can be, so you can easily prick yourself on it. That's why people trim the ends of the guitar strings when they have them in tune when they
Okay.
restring guitars. But if you brush against something hard enough or fast enough, like I did, and it's metal, it'll slice into you. And that's what happened to me. And it was
So the
just,
strings are actually metal?
yes, yeah. They're steel
Oh,
strings usually.
interesting. So string is sort of a misnomer.
No, because I mean, I guess if you wanted to call them wire, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're strings,
Yeah,
so
no, no,
other
I'm
instruments are
I'm
just.
learning some things.
But yeah, it's amazing how much blood you can have in just the teeny, like the tip of your finger. You know what I mean?
Think
It's
about a
like,
paper cut. It's the
right,
worst.
exactly, yeah.
Was it it's clearly on your playing hand. Is it on your writing hand?
Uh, yeah, on my right hand,
Well,
which I do
that's sort
everything
of a
with.
well, I was just gonna say that's sort of a dumb question because I assume that you play with the same hand typically that you write with.
Right.
Right? Because it's your dominant hand? I know
Yes.
that's like a dumb question. It should have
I'm
been a
not sure I
given.
understand the question, but I'm just going to say yes, yes.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
Guitar
realizing,
requires
like
two hands,
no, I know, but the
but
one
the
that you
one
would
I'm
have cut your
strumming with
hand
is
with
the one
yes.
that I cut. Yes.
Alright, okay. Alright, I feel like I need to start all over. I'm all over the map, and apparently I am dumber.
Hey, I know the feeling. It's
Ugh.
been minimal sleep this last week, so kind of coasting by on fumes. So don't expect
Well
the synapses to be firing at 100% today. But
well,
this
that's
could
alright.
lead to some interesting areas because, as you know, we talk without a safety net here.
Oh,
That's
we do.
no script, no ideas.
Nope. It
Nothing.
is
So it's fun because we never know where we're going to go with our discussions. But it is
no.
very much just a high wire act.
It is I mean, is it steel wire?
Oh no! See, and sometimes we fall and we get
Rude.
bruised.
Wow.
but when we're actually up on that wire and we make it across, I think it's pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, because it's unscripted conversational chaos. How about that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, speaking of unscripted chaos and conversational, okay, remember last week I mentioned the birds at my house?
Yes. Yeah, they were
Okay, so
attacking you.
I finally found out they're starlings, and starlings are very conversational, I learned, and they can mimic the sounds and the people around them. So, I've been talking to the starlings because there's not a lot of people here and I'm
Uh-huh.
crazy. And so I'm like, "Hey, I don't want your babies. Stop harassing me. My babies have left the nest." Like I'm having these full conversations with these starlings and they're talking back. I also found out that yes, they do attack, they can swarm, and they're known as bird bullies.
Like crows, kind of, it sounds like.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So I was like,
A murder of
"Oh,
starlings.
yes." I was like, "I should be a little bit more respectful." I mean, in my conversation I have been, but I've been
Right.
sort of dismissing them as like dodo birds. And when I have been like going on walks and stuff, I swear they're following me and they just fly from like perch to perch.
You've become the bird lady of veranda.
I It's really sad. I need socialization.
Sounds like you're getting it. You're getting avian socialization. Uh,
God. As long as I don't get starling flu.
right. Ugh. No fun.
Oh my gosh. No, no fun at all. Yeah, so I mean, those are the exciting things that are going on with me between the starlings and doing all of my posting at Veranda Beach, which hey, not to give a plug for something that's not this show, but if you want to see how good I can be at social media, follow the point at Veranda Beach and you'll be so impressed with my social media posting.
Absolutely.
Every day I do a moment at the point, like an exhale. So, I'm trying to create FOMO for people.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
thank you. Um,
So I'll just wrap up what happened with the rock shows, and then we can move
yeah,
on to
sorry,
our
sorry, sorry,
next
sorry.
stuff. So I got to say, I played the on Sunday night. We played at probably the biggest venue that we've ever played at before, and
Oh,
it was like I've accidentally wandered into professional show business here. It's like,
okay.
and the headlining group was. I'm just going to keep this general here, but the headlining group featured a member that is a legendary musician in the Seattle area and beyond, really, because he played on one of the big four, the grunge bands. The like there was four really huge grunge bands
Uh-huh.
essentially, and he was
Okay.
the original drummer in one of those bands. And so his new group, which was excellent and don't sound a thing like the grunge group that he was previously associated with, headlined. And they were fantastic. And I think we played really well. And people were like, hey, rock star and stuff to me. And we had a great time. And it just felt like, wow, we've leveled up. We're starting to get, this profile now that we're able to play with like professional musicians, not just in a dinky dive bar, which we love playing in
Right.
stinky dive bars, but you know what I mean. It's just a whole different vibe when you are playing in a place with an actual green room, as opposed
Whoa,
to,
wait. Like,
and
did you
they've
have a
got comfortable
rider?
furniture and stuff like that. Uh,
Eric,
yeah, so it was
that's
like,
huge.
oh wow, we are. This is the classiest joint we ever played. So it felt really cool, and and then we sold all that merch, and I was like, oh man, this is great. And so just when I was starting to get a little bit inflated of a head, from the treatment of being in professional showbiz for 3 hours. Uh, and maybe it was the loss of blood. But I was starting to think maybe hey, maybe this could work out. Maybe this could be a career for me. Then we got paid by the venue. And I'm not kidding. It was $3 and
What?
61 cents.
What? How? Tell me that math.
I have no idea. But $3.61. There wasn't a ton of people there, but
Wait, how many people
there
are
was
in
a
your
nice
band?
small crowd. There's three of us.
So you each got $1.
We we got like $1.20 each, and an extra penny for me
Wow.
for
Booking
cashing the
the
check, I
booking it. There
guess.
you go.
But I'm thinking I'm just gonna frame this rather than cash it. But yeah, it was like for a minute I thought like, oh, we're big time, and then like the very next minute it was like right back down to earth where we where we belong. So
Wow, $3. I'm like, how do you even do that math?
yeah,
Like, I mean, yeah.
I
I,
tried
I
to
don't
figure it out, but it just hurt my head. So I'm just guessing the other groups may have had big guest lists or something. I don't know. It's totally not about the money for us, so we don't care.
I
And the
know, but
fact that we
it's a
sold
reason to
merch was like, yeah, it was great. And I don't know like the specifics of what the venue takes as a cut versus what
right.
like the opening group gets versus and it's honestly we would have done it for free, and we've done many shows for free. So it was
I
just
think it's so cool.
it was an
That's
honor
so
to
cool.
play the place. But I was just like Really?
That's no, that's funny. But I
I
mean,
read it like 4 times just to make sure I wasn't going insane. But
and
yeah,
I love there was a check.
yes, I had to fill out. This is the first time I've had to. Well, not the first time, but it's rare that I actually have to file paperwork with my taxes to get paid for a gig, and I did for this. And I was like,
Wow.
I really want to get my social security number. Well, it'll be worth it for that $3.61 that we got. But
That's
yeah,
Did you get to interact with said rock star?
I did. Yeah, he was super nice too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. Like the fact that you got to play at a venue like that, it's sort of like you're manifesting like these opportunities that are bigger than you ever thought. And like that's the exciting thing.
Yes. Yeah. No, overall, it was still a wonderful experience. It was just one of those hilarious moments where it was like you start to feel like a little bit like, hey, check me out. And then, and then, of course, you're just like smack right back down to reality.
Humbled quick.
Yes. Yes. Humblecore. That's the kind of music we play.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, remind our listeners what the name of your band is so they can check you out.
We are called Battersea.
And they're awesome, by the way.
And if you're interested in the shirt, go to batterseatheband.bandcamp.com, where that is newly available on our merch, as well as our album Shooting Day for Night. So we'd love to have people check out our music.
100%. You're on Spotify and all that stuff,
Yep.
right?
Yes, we are.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations, Mr. Bigwig.
Well, the point of that story was I'm not.
I know.
But yes, thank you.
But I realize that, and you're so not the person that like, you know, does that. Like you love the irony and the juxtaposition of like your big moment and it's like, here's your $3. I get it. But also as your friend and co-host, I'm super excited for you. And
it's
like,
entirely possible they took out like the amount that they need to clean the carpet on the stage to take my blood out of the stage carpet out of our check. That's entirely possible. I didn't think of that.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yes.
You're like, do you need me to clean that up for you?
Right? I would have done it. I would have done it had I known. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's an awesome story. So much better than my Starling story. Like, why didn't you shut me up sooner? God. I know. I go off on a tangent and you just can't get me back.
No, it's just that what happened. We can't control what happened in our lives this last week. And, you know, fun things happen for both of us. Just we're in different places at the moment. I, as a backup, I had a story about the new underwear that I bought.
Oh my God, tell me.
We could talk about either now or the next episode, but.
No, I need to know now.
Oh, no.
Because I'm struggling with finding good underwear that I like that isn't granny pants, but isn't like whatever. So tell me about it.
Okay, I'll try and keep this brief. So like probably 20 years ago, I bought some underwear from Target that I thought, hey, these are cool. And they're boxer briefs, right? And I've bought many boxer briefs before and since then, but these ones have lasted the 20 years. And they're still very comfortable, still look good. And I thought, well, geez, why can't they still make these? Because they're great. I would love to buy some more of them. But the problem is that the labels have long since removed themselves. Yeah, dissolved because they just they were tagless, so they were basically like painted on information, and that just has worn away over time. So I basically knew the brand because it was Target, but they have long since stopped carrying these. So I had like a vague idea of what they were made out of. So for a while, I've been doing kind of like online every so often research, trying to find like similar ones. So recently I found some what I thought were similar ones online, and so I went and bought those, but they're imports, so they're coming from Turkey or something.
Oh my
so
gosh.
so I got
Well,
these. I got them, and they are kind of similar. The cut's not quite the same, but the material is the same. So I have high hopes for these. Although they have like a dumb like brand name, and this is the problem with a lot of these. They like men's underwear is they like on the waistband. It's just the dumb
oh.
brand name, like in just big bold letters, and I just don't want that. And that was the
Is
bro.
it Den of Thieves,
No,
which is a brand?
no,
Okay, because I think Target sells a brand like that,
yeah,
and it's like, look, I
pair of
don't. If I'm
thieves.
gonna put any name on,
Right.
or that's what it is. If I'm gonna
I
put
have their
any name on my
socks.
underwear, it's gonna be mine.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Eric, Eric, Eric,
Yes.
Eric.
Or I have Zoo York also, which is just like, I don't need that. I just
Yeah,
want it
yeah, yeah,
blank.
yeah.
Please make it blank.
Uh-huh.
But now,
Uh-huh.
but these are like made up words or words from Turkey or wherever now that I didn't want. But I made that sacrifice to get the material and the design that I wanted. So I get them, but the instructions or the care instructions are
I'm
in,
like instructions.
yeah, they're like in Arabic. So I use my translate feature on the iPhone, and first of all, it's like, uh, don't wash these in the machine. Don't use laundry detergent.
Oh my
Dry
gosh.
clean only. Like all this stuff that I'm
No.
like, what? And then it says, dried in a place, dried in a cool place with strong winds.
Oh my. You bought like the most bougie underwear, like beautiful Turkish cotton.
It's
Oh my
it's
gosh.
not cotton. It's like cellulose or something. Um, but just the idea that they have to tell you dried in a place with a strong breeze. I don't know what that
Oh,
means or why I would want to know. But I have since washed these things, right? Because
yeah.
who knows what that strong breeze blew in. um, and
Wait, so just to clarify, it's not telling you to dry it in a place with a strong breeze. It's telling you that they were
well,
dried.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how well like the iPhone translates, but it said
Okay.
dried in a place with a strong breeze.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
So I
So
washed
did
them
you
and they
dry
held
them?
out. Oh, I used the regular washer and dryer. They held out just fine. So I think that it's going to be okay. They might not last as long as the Target ones, but,
Wow.
but
That was an emotional roller coaster. And for now on, I feel like you need to like hang them and put them in a place where there is a strong breeze.
yeah, I guess like the dryer. There's a pretty good breeze in there.
Oh my gosh.
But I've never
Uh
seen that on like a care instructions or a tag
no.
of any kind of garment before. So I thought that's
That's
weird.
amazing.
Yes.
That's well, and only you, I love like I go down rabbit holes that are completely different than your rabbit hole. The fact that you have been on the hunt for this particular pair of underwear
20
and
years.
like 20 years.
it's
Like, I mean,
it's my tight white
you are
whale.
loyal. Oh, did you just
Except
say
that,
my tight white whale?
yes, even though it's not actually white or tight or a whale, but nevertheless.
Oh my god. Okay. That line's going in the show description. Eric talks about his search for his tight white
Oh my
whale
god. I'm regretting it. I'm regretting saying that now already.
while sipping on his what cocktail?
No. You were the one having that particular cocktail, not me.
Anyway. All right. On that note, let's take a quick break here.
Absolutely. Yes.
We'll be right back.
Yes. And people are going to be like, why was that first segment only 2 minutes?
You're not cutting it out.
Stay tuned for more. Don't Ask Me to Talk. We've got our cultural blind spots coming up and Dear Krabby. And I don't even know if we have a question for Dear Krabby, but we'll find out.
I do.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Hopefully you are as well out there listening in. So stay tuned for more. Don't Ask Me to Talk. This is Eric Ryder reminding you to follow us on Facebook. We're at Don't Ask Me to Talk, and we're on Instagram, again, at Don't Ask Me to Talk. We'd love to hear from you, so check us out on social media and leave us a comment, leave us a like. Remember, you can always email us directly at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com or leave us a voicemail or text at 475-999-2726. That's 475-999-2726.
Wow.
And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm Eric Ryder, one of your co-hosts.
Hey, and I am Stacy. I am the other one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Podcast pals back at it.
Yep, here we are. Okay. So you mentioned before the break that we always, in this next segment, talk about our cultural blind spots, but we've also been doing a thing with Dear Krabby. And I actually have a question for Dear Krabby.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm in a pinch. My anniversary is in a couple weeks, and Pete informed me that he got me an anniversary gift. Now, we normally don't really exchange anniversary gifts. We go out on a date or we spend time together. And with raising 4 kids, it's just like, I don't know, it's never been a priority to buy gifts or do anything crazy. And if we get something, it's typically like for the house or whatever. So he informed me that he got a gift. So naturally, I'm in panic mode.
Yeah.
I mean,
what year's anniversary is this?
33.
33. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that I'm only 35 is crazy. So, I looked up, like, is there a gift associated with 33?
Yeah, because there's some of them are like the paper, the silver, the chocolate, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Anniversary.
Gold, silver, totally.
Yes.
So the 2 things that came up most commonly, but clearly these are done by like people that have an interest in these things, were amethyst, which, that's lovely, but I don't want anything amethyst, and steel.
AI is telling me pajamas.
Wait, maybe AI is like trying to tell me something.
No, it
like,
says,
hey, get some pajamas.
Also consider luxury experiences. Well, thank you, AI. You're useless as usual.
Yeah, so that's my question. What do I do? This man wants for nothing, and not like, oh, he has everything. Like, he is not similar to you, I think, Eric. His needs, his wants are pretty simple, like a decent pair of underwear. And, like, he's content with his life and he's not driven by things. And so, I'm like, what do I do? So I need something creative. Oh, and if I go sentimental, like for our 30th, I had a painting done, a family portrait done by an artist that I really like. And it's like the whole family and the cats and the whole thing. And, that was an awesome gift. But he was like, that's awesome. And he liked it. I mean, that's a big assumption to make about, like, hey, you like this piece of art that I picked for you?
Yeah. Was it an artist he likes?
Yes, he does. So, he's like, that's awesome. But he's not like, oh, I'm gonna like have a love song written for you. Like, he's not that guy. He's not overly sentimental.
Right.
So I need help. I need help from you, and I need help from listeners. So I know that typically we don't necessarily hear from a lot of our listeners, but I am pleading, please text or call and leave a voicemail at 475-999-2726. I need your help, like, for reals.
Yeah, we're flipping this on its head. The listeners are Dear Crappy this time, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I do want to know what your thoughts are, because as I said, you have, there's not much that you're really like, oh, I really want this, I really want that. So give me some ideas. What do you got?
And you have no inkling of what he's getting you?
No. Now, there is a good chance I sent him like the day before he told me this, or a couple days before. There's another artist that I'm a big fan of, and she puts out these limited edition little booklets with like, some kind of an item that goes with it. And I received an email that it had just come out. The topic is joy. I sent it to him as like a, hey, like, I'm going to buy this, but maybe you want to pretend to give it to me. So there is a chance that maybe he got me that. So I did tell our daughter, who's living at home at the moment, like, find out if dad got this for me. And if he did, awesome. And if he didn't, go get it because I don't want to miss out. And I'll pay you back. Because, like, either way, I want to have it. So she's like, okay, on it. So it could be that.
So you're doing your gift espionage ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which can be helpful, I guess.
Well, and I was like, look, we don't have to tell like the surprise, just buy it and I'll pay you back.
Right.
And whatever. But now I'm in a panic mode. I need ideas. What do you give the person who doesn't really want anything?
Typically I think like experiences are good things to give.
He's a big fan of quality time.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe some kind of experience that the two of you would enjoy.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. This depends on the person, but like a spa day kind of thing that for both of you would be, I think, a fun thing. I've never done that, so I have no idea if it's actually fun or not, but just the idea of experiences, like everybody likes a massage.
Yeah, I don't know if he would like a spa day, but he might. Like, when we went to Cabo, we got massages, and that was a weird experience unto itself. And he'll go
maybe not everybody likes a massage, but a lot of people like some massage.
It's because you're in a crowded room with a bunch of tables and you're like dropping trow in front of everybody.
But that's why you research ahead of time and make sure it's not that experience, that it's a more intimate one-on-one kind of thing, Yeah,
I like that. Okay, that's a good idea. And then I could also like I gave him for Christmas a cooking class, and then we ended up I couldn't go because I was somewhere. And so I feel like I don't want to do that again because I agree with you on the experience thing. He's a big sports fan, so maybe I could get tickets to some
There you
game,
go. Yeah,
right?
that's a great idea.
Okay, this is helping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Concerts, the sporting events, the sort of stuff he likes. And I think the important thing is that you offer to go with.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's a ticket for you. Bye.
Right.
Okay. All right. This is good. But hey, listeners, I am the one that is asking this time. I am asking. So again, if you have ideas, you can text or call. The number again is 475-999-2726. Or you can also email us. The email is
asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
Yeah. So any and all responses are welcome.
Yeah.
And I'll share them. Like, hey, I will absolutely follow up next time and collect them all and share because I'm sure there are other people that struggle with this stuff.
And the things we know about Pete, he's in his 50s. He's been 60s. He's been married for 33 years. He likes bartending and sporting events.
Yep.
And so,
and me.
Yeah, and you. and his children, of course, one would hope. Yes. So that's essentially what we know about him. So if you've got
he's a very patient man. He's a very patient man. And no, but you pretty much covered it. I mean, like he's pretty easygoing. And He is definitely at a point, his love language is definitely quality time. And so I think the experiences idea. And, for wherever you're listening, remember we live in the Pacific Northwest, although we do have ties to the East Coast. So, I mean, I am happy to have ideas that are both local for us or more global because, have passport, will travel. I mean, I'm not talking I'm spending a lot of money, by the way. We do need to be a baller on a budget with this.
Okay. That's important to know.
So I'm not spending thousands on an anniversary gift. Sorry. Love you, Pete, but not $33,000 worth.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So I've put that out into the universe and I am manifesting lots of awesome ideas coming back to us.
Fantastic. Okay, so I think we should move on to cultural blind spots, which we do in this segment. I dropped the ball this week. I didn't get a chance to take out any big cultural blind spots. I didn't even get to Empire Strikes Back, which I'm hoping to watch this week or next week. Because it was a busy week with the gigs and work and everything. Sure. I just and I didn't even mention the fact that I had a plumbing emergency over the weekend.
What? Is that why you lost so much sleep?
No, but it didn't help. I was in my pajamas when I had to fix this thing. But maybe we'll talk about that on the next episode. Just
so it was a literal plumbing issue and not like your body plumbing issue.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So,
okay.
But I will say I've been watching the second season of Poker Face on Peacock with Natasha Lyonne, and it's fantastic. I've been really enjoying it. If you enjoyed any of those old like Columbo shows, like murder mystery shows, especially the ones that aren't who did it but how done it, so to speak.
Right.
This is a perfect addition to that kind of canon. And Natasha Lyonne is so fun in it. And it's a great show that I think most people would enjoy. It's not too serious. It's not over the top funny. It's just like a good, enjoyable, 45 minutes with little twists and stuff. And you see the crime happen for the first chunk of the episode. And then the second chunk of the episode is it reveals she's been there the whole time and observed this, and now she solves the crime. And the hook is that she's got a superpower and that she's a lie detector. So she can always tell when someone is not telling the truth. She literally calls BS on any lie. And so then she's able to kind of solve the case. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is, and lots of great guest stars. And it really is just an awesome throwback to the 70s and early 80s, like Columbo, Murder, She Wrote, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and Murder, She Wrote, and remember Magnum PI?
Yep, absolutely. I watched all that stuff as a kid. Yep. So it's got a nice nostalgic feel, but it's set now, and so it's very current. And it also has, some slightly edgier language than you could get away with on the Sunday night movie,
right?
On network TV. But they had not too much of that. So even if you're watching with kids, it's not you cover their ears once or twice,
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's not bad. It's sort of like when I was watching The Residents, right? I agree with you on, I think writers are so smart in the whole how done it versus who done it thing. And, the elaborate ways that things happen and mistakes that are made and all that kind of stuff. It's fascinating. Yep. And I mean, the world loves themselves a true crime. So, and she's amazing. She's kind of a wackadoodle, Natasha Lyonne. And so, but I've heard it's amazing. So, okay, I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Okay, well, I have an update. So, we all know, if we've been listening for a while, dear listener, that I'm not great at watching TV and movies. So I brought up...
Unless you're driving.
Unless I'm driving. 100%, obviously. And then I download and I watch, but really I'm just listening. It's fine. It's safe, but don't do it at home. Anyway, um, so I was reading, much to my chagrin last time, Cat About Town from the Cat Cafe mystery series.
Which sounds like a whole
And
lot of fun.
it was super fun, and it was like convoluted, and I'll tell you what, small town politics, there's a crazy amount of things that happen. Um, I also noticed there's a trend. It's always a disgruntled woman that you least expect. I'm like, what the heck? Um, but remember I said I bought a few of them in like a thrift store?
Uh-huh.
Well, I was lucky enough to randomly pick up the first in the series. I don't have the second one, which is called The Perfect Murder, but I do have the third in the
Because of
series, which
course
I'm
it
about
is.
to begin. Because of course it is. But I do have the third in the series, which is called The Telltale, get it, Heart.
Nice.
So I'm very excited to
Tail
begin
like a
another
cat
Cat
tail.
Cafe mystery. Exactly.
Yes.
So so
So
that's my
so
deal.
the
And
first
then
one was good. You finished that?
it was good in the way that a Cat Cafe mystery book would be, right? Like if you picked up that book and you read that genre, then it was very satisfying. Like there's a little romance,
Right.
there's mystery, small town politics, like the whole thing. Um, which I was very excited. Back years ago, I was president of a networking group that I'm part of, and I bought myself a presidential library, aka a little free library. You see them in your community, you see them in all these places, and I was like, I need a presidential library.
Maybe you can get
Every
a
president
jet
after
donated to you by Dubai or Qatar
maybe,
to go with your
maybe.
presidential library.
Well, like you, I'm humble. And so while I do have a presidential library, it's a little free
Right.
library.
So just a
And
model plane.
so, right, basically. So I got turned down by my HOA at home. I got turned down by the HOA here at the lake house. However, I found a loophole and I finally got the little free library up, and it's by the bar at the marina. And I was like,
There you
perfect. I did
go.
it as a draw.
Yeah.
Like, hey, grab a book
I
and
love
have a
little free
cocktail.
libraries. I got to
Right?
say, we have somebody in our neighborhood that built a replica of their house as their little free library, including some crows
Ugh.
on the roof. I love every time I see it, it puts a big smile on my face. So, yeah.
Totally. What's not to love? So I put a bunch of books in, and then Mercedes, the gal that runs the point and the marina and all those things, she called me up one day and was like, you had your first customer. Somebody took a book and dropped off some other books. And I was like, and it's launched. So my presidential library is open and ready for visitors at the point at Veranda Beach. So it's a big moment for me.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. But it's rude to keep talking about myself. So we should probably take a break and actually come back and talk about our topic.
Our topic today is manners.
Ugh,
Everybody's
I have none.
and it would be rude to not return with us. So make sure you stay tuned for more. Don't Ask Me to Talk right here on wherever you get your podcasts or on the radio on 1150 AM KKNW. Thanks for listening.
Hey, I'm Stacey Heller. I'm one of your podcast pals, along with Eric Ryder from Don't Ask Me to Talk. Are you liking what you're listening to? Awesome. We would love if you would follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram as Don't Ask Me to Talk. We also are wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can follow us, subscribe, like, rate, whatever it is that you do. You can also email us. That's asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. And if you'd like, text or leave us a voicemail at 475-999-2726. Basically, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
I'm the other one. I'm Stacey Heller.
How polite of you.
I think you have to do all of the intros because I go off topic way too quickly.
Possibly, yes. And it's not that polite.
Well, no, it's not. Well, like it's never too late for good manners, right?
Absolutely, which is our topic of the day, decided by our good friend, the Wheel O Topics. And of course, the Wheel O Topics is populated with a whole bunch of different topics that you select each week. And so each week, I like to take the time and say, hey, Stacy, what was the thinking behind putting this particular topic on the Wheel O Topics?
Well, and as I like to say, thank you for asking. So when I was raised, like the 11th commandment was thou shalt have good manners. Um, it was like a huge part of my upbringing and societal norms and these kinds of things. And I got into a conversation with a friend and talking about writing thank you notes and are they still relevant? I mean, nobody even like has paper anymore. I don't even know if my kids know how to address an envelope. Things are different, and so you know, does the um, does a verbal thank you or an email or a text count as a thank you, or is that rude? Um, and so I just thought it was an interesting conversation about, manners and do they change and evolve with the times, or is it about the intention behind them? How do they evolve? Did they have they evolved? Should they evolve? So that's where it came from,
Good. Yeah, I think this is an ongoing discussion that society should constantly be having. Um, and
right?
I feel like, as far as the question of do they evolve, they absolutely evolve, because I feel like how many forks you use was like a topic included in manners
Right.
for a long, long
Right.
time. And now it's like using a fork in itself it's like, is that rude?
Right.
Or, is
Right, you
everything
might use
finger looking good?
chopsticks.
Or,
Like
yeah,
right. I mean, and I don't even mean, like, generally, you're right, the amount of utensils that you use, like, people no longer necessarily get sterling. Typically, if you got married, then you would register and you would get these sets of sterling. I have my grandmother's sterling and my great-grandmother's sterling that's, like, for fish and for, like, white meat and beef and in case you have a cucumber. And it's no longer really relevant to modern life anymore. And I will tell you, when I got engaged, the gift that I got from my mother was a book of manners, of course, naturally. Emily Post.
right.
So, so you're right. So yes, they definitely need to evolve, and that's an awesome example of it. Um,
I feel
and the
like most people
communication
aren't going
piece.
to finishing school anymore. So, I mean, there's a lot of things associated with quote unquote manners that are really just like, how uptight are you? you know? Yeah, your average
Right.
person, I think, is just, um, trying not to be rude, but at the same time, doesn't have a lot of time for a lot of the frilly nonsense that comes with being very upper crust.
Well, and it's an interesting thing because, for years I always had to write a thank you note and I always made the kids write a thank you note. And then as time lapsed, I'm like, I've stopped writing thank you
Yeah.
notes and I don't harp on my kids to write thank you notes. Of course they need to say thank you. But then the funny thing is, if I'm invited to a wedding, I'm like, did I ever get a thank you note? And it's not actually about getting the thank you note, but it is this weird, like, did you get that? Like, hey, I I'm curious if you liked it, like whatever it is. And so
Right.
it's this weird thing that I don't stand on ceremony, but then there's this part of me that's like, hey, but like I took the time to get this for you and I actually thought about it and like, did you get it? Do you like it? Like, tell me that I'm pretty.
I think that's like, yeah, there's definitely levels to all this, because I feel like a wedding, and if you're talking about gifts and people coming, that's so formal that I feel like, yeah, in that case, a thank you note is I almost said something else. I, I almost was
Uh-huh.
halfway to your cocktail there. But I,
And your underwear.
well, let's not go there. But yeah, I mean, I feel like in a case like that, if you're inviting people and you're sending out like formal invitations and you're asking for gifts and you're asking people to dress up, then I think it is manners to follow up with a thank you for coming, thank you for this nice gift note.
Mhm.
And I think even if that takes a year, I think that's totally fine. Because
Well,
I
and
think
technically you have a
I
year.
think yeah, and take advantage of that because people have busy lives, and I get it, and that's the last thing probably anybody wants to do. But you're right; it is that note of appreciation that makes you feel like, okay, well, this was a nice experience. They still like me. I still like them. It's all good, and this, it's all comes with that formality. But if you invite somebody to a pizza party, and they come along,
Right.
and you don't have to send them a letter saying, thank you so much for coming to Roundtable with me last week. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you TY a text in that case, I think that's perfectly fair. Or, you know what I mean? Or just say next time
Right.
you see them, like, hey, I had a great time with you last time we were hanging out. Anything like that. I think that's all perfectly, that's good manners. And being friendly is good manners. So I think it's all about like the type of formality of the event when it comes to like the thank yous.
And then I don't know how much time we have because I feel like this is a whole nother topic that we could talk
Oh, can
about.
I also just
Um,
amend that to say that I am the worst about all of this? I am the worst. I am terrible at sending cards. I am terrible at sending thank yous. I am terrible about all of this stuff. I'm just saying what it should be done, not what I do. So
right. Do as I
do as I say,
say,
not
not as
as
I
I do.
do.
Yes, yeah. So cut yourself some slack if you don't actually follow up. It happens. We all have, like I said, busy lives. But I'll just say that I know people actually appreciate that stuff.
Well, okay. Yes. Yes, they do. I agree with you on all of that. And I am the same way. Like, I am terrible. I'm pretty good at like sending a text like, "Hey, that was really fun last night. Thanks for having us
Yeah.
over." And I think it's all really about the intentionality and the acknowledgement,
Yeah.
right? Um, but then the second part of this is manners when it pertains to child rearing and what you teach your kids about
Right.
manners. And I feel like that's a whole separate topic because I mean, like the way that I raised my kids, somebody recently asked me about how I raised our kids. We raised our kids, and I was like, I was really strict, and and they wanted more information on that, and I was like, I insisted they did do this. Blah 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 blah, and I regret to a certain degree, like doing that because like they're kids, by the
Yeah.
way. And, so I have regrets about that part of it. But then there's also the part that my kids were never running around a
Right.
restaurant like feral
Yes.
cats. And, like they know how to interact with people and look them in the eye and shake a hand and do those
Yeah.
things. And so it's a really delicate balance, right?
It is because you also you want to be understanding and gentle with your children, of course, and understand that they're kids. They're just trying to get through life. They got their own hang-ups and all kinds of stuff, and to have this all kind of dumped on them like is tough. But it's the
Mhm.
last thing they want to do or care about. But at the same time, you don't want to inflict your children on the world. You know what I mean? And there's
Right.
so many parents out there that their kids seem to have no boundaries and they're going crazy when they're at a restaurant or in the store. and they're yelling and screaming and they're knocking over stuff or just being rude and not having any manners. And I feel like you got to find that balance with like, okay, we're at home, you can do what you want, sort of thing. Well, I'm going to be more lenient here, and we're in public, and I expect you to have manners. And manners can be, I think, as simple as, you wash your hands, you say please and thank you, and you don't run around and you don't scream.
Right. Well, and I agree with you on all of that. And I used to have, which is maybe my downfall, this general feeling that, by the way, people would talk about, okay, we're going to grandma's, best manners, or we're going to this fancy restaurant, best manners. And my thing was always like, no, because manners aren't just like manners are about how you sort of conduct yourself, both for yourself and for other people. And I'm like, by the way, the lady at McDonald's who's like, on her like double shift, she deserves as much, manners as like the queen does or the king now, at the palace. And so not the random arbitrary, like, you need to know how to curtsy or, respond to a wedding invitation, but just general behavior. And so I was like militant, which again is not so good. We could totally unpack this in therapy. I'm sure my children have.
Yeah, and well, I still think, McDonald's is public though. The people
Yes,
around
yes.
you are part of the public. We're living in a society.
Good point.
And so, yes, I'm just saying, at home, if you want to run around in your underpants from Turkey, you do you. But if you're going out in public, whether that's McDonald's or whether that's, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, then you should have manners and you should behave yourself.
There you go. All right. I'd be curious to hear from our listeners, like, what is the most arbitrary sort of rule of society or thing from manners that, that you've heard or that you know of? Like, I know that there's a thing about, technically men are supposed to get in an elevator first in case it goes crashing down, and they're supposed to get out of an elevator second in case it goes crashing down.
Yeah, there's even like rules or ideas like, a man should be on the left side when walking down a sidewalk, or the street side.
There's a flash.
Yes. And I just think it's 2025. We've got enough to worry about right now. Like, if you think about that and you want to do that, that's fantastic. But I got to say, I've done that for, decades, and the girl has never noticed or appreciated. More like they're just trying to move me out of the way so they can be on the side that they want to be on, which more often than not seems to be the street. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just trying to be chivalrous, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like,
no, it's totally true. It's totally true. It's really hard. Like the things that you do, and it's like ingrained, and it's like nobody else really notices. So yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, interesting conversation.
Absolutely.
Like it's important. Ultimately, I feel like manners come down to being kind and acknowledging that there are other people in the world besides you.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's what I always say. We're living in a society, and for society to work at its best, we all have to have respect for one another. Ultimately, manners are about respect. And there's like a whole bunch of arbitrary rules that got dumped on that. But the reality is, if you just treat everybody with respect, that's about the best manners you can have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ultimately, I think a lot of the rules were to avoid chaos. And honestly, we live in a chaotic world. I mean, take this show, for instance. All right. Well, what are we talking about next week? Because I suspect it's that time.
Let's find out. All right. I have a feeling this will be easy to tie into our discussion of cultural blind spots and the other stuff that we talk about on this show. So this may be like a episode long top topic. It's
Okay.
media feed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, basically what's on our media feed. What is it that pops up? Because we all know that with a lot algorithms and, the way that our phones and everything hears us, that things come up. So just kind of talking about what's on our feed and what we've learned about ourselves as consumers as a result.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which direction would you go in?
Right. Yeah. No, I think this is going to be an interesting topic for sure. So,
Yeah. Well, every once in a while, I get one. And then other times we talk about what vegetable
that's
are you?
right. We can do both.
We can. We can do hard things. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. We so appreciate it.
Have yourself a wonderful week and be sure and join us next time right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk.